What's up, friends? Welcome to this class. I'm so happy to have you here. My name is Mike, and today we're going to be doing a vinyasa flow. This will be an all levels class, so feel free to go at your own pace. If you ever need to take a break, just drop your knees down to the ground, take a child's pose, and I'll be giving lots of options for modifications throughout this sequence. So have fun, and I'll see you in child's pose. So coming onto the hands and the knees, bring your knees as wide as the edges of your mat. Bring your big toes to touch behind you, and then start to sit your hips back into child's pose. Maybe slide the fingertips slightly forward. Rest your forehead on the ground. And just start with some nice, deep, soothing breaths. Breathing in and out through the nose so the lips are sealed. Relax the shoulders, soften the hips back to the heels. And just keep in mind that this is a pose you can always return to at any point throughout class. Good, and from here we'll come onto the hands and the knees in a tabletop position. So stacking the shoulders directly over the wrists, the hips are stacked over the knees. And we'll take some cat-cows. So starting with an inhale, press the belly down towards your mat, gaze up towards the sky. And as you exhale, drop the head down towards the ground, press the mat away from you, round the spine. And again, inhale, fill up the lungs, drop the head back, open the throat. And exhale, round through the spine, press the ground away from you. We'll take two more of these. Inhale, drop down through the belly button, open through the neck. And exhale, round the back, empty the lungs. And last time, inhale, fill up the lungs. Feel the cool air rushing in. And exhale, let the warm air out as you round the back. Good, and then slowly coming back to a flat back in tabletop position. From here, we'll flip the fingertips backwards to face towards the knees. And then gently start to drop your hips back towards your heels. Just enough so you feel a bit of a stretch in the front of your forearms and your wrists. It might feel nice to pedal out into the palms. Maybe shift your weight from your right hand over to your left hand. Just starting to feel the different sensations inside the body. Notice where you feel the stretch in each pose. And stay connected with the breath. Cool, and then from here, spin the hands back to face the top of the mat, and we'll move right into downward facing dog. So we'll send the hips up and back. And it will probably feel nice for you to take some movement in this first downward dog. So you can pedal out the feet, kind of like you're pedaling a bicycle, dropping one heel, lifting the other toes of the opposite foot, and then switching. Might feel nice to make some circles with your neck. Maybe shake the head yes, shake it no. And then coming into a position of stillness here. Set your eye gaze to one point. So you can be looking between your feet, maybe looking between your thighs. Doesn't matter where you look, just keep looking at one point. When we focus the mind on one point, we calm the thoughts, we slow down everything that's going on in our head. It helps us better concentrate on the body. Take a couple nice deep breaths here. Grounding down through the heels, lifting your sit bones up and back. Pressing actively through your pointer fingers and your thumbs. So you should feel the arms engaged here. Take a deep inhale and an exhale. Gaze to the top of your mat and we'll tiptoe the feet all the way forwards. Feet are going to be hips width distance, top of the mat. And we'll come into ragdoll pose, so grabbing opposite elbows. Bend your knees as much as you need to here. And you can rock from side to side if that feels comfortable for you. Soften through the back of your neck. Find relaxation through your legs. Take a nice deep breath in. Feel the air as it rushes into your lungs. And as you exhale, release the elbows. Bring your fingertips downwards towards the ground. So bend your knees as much as you need to here to get the fingertips down. And we'll move into our first halfway lift. So you can keep your fingertips on the ground, or you can press your palms into your shins. And with an inhale, whichever variation you take, lengthen the spine, reach through the crown of your head, send your hips towards the back of the mat. Good, and as you exhale, fold forward, drop the head. And with your next inhale, press down through all four corners of your feet to rise all the way up to stand. Reach the arms up to the sky, gaze up to your fingertips. And as you exhale, pull the hands down to heart center. Good. And with your next inhale, sweep the arms up again, gaze up to the hands. And as you exhale, we'll fold forward, nice and deep. Drop the head, relax the neck. Inhale, halfway lift again, lengthen through the spine, awaken the vertebrae. Exhale, plant the palms, step back into a high plank position. From your high plank, lower down onto your knees. Slowly bend the elbows to bring the chest down to the ground. Untuck the toes, and then press the tops of your feet down into the ground. And with an inhale, we'll move into cobra pose. So just lifting the chest, using your back muscles here to lift your chest, roll the shoulders back, find length through your neck, reach through the top of your head. Take one more breath. As you exhale, lower the chest back down to the ground. Good, and then press up onto your hands and your knees, and we'll roll back into downward facing dog. And right away with an inhale, lift your right leg up towards the sky. Exhale, step the right foot between your hands. Take as many steps as you need to get the foot in place. Take your time. Once the right foot is at the top of the mat, lower your back knee down to the ground. You can keep your back toes tucked, or you can come onto the top of your back foot. And with an inhale, we'll come into Anjaneyasana, reaching the arms up towards the sky. As you inhale, see if you can lift your rib cage and your chest a little bit higher up. And as you exhale, try and keep that height of the chest. Breathing deeply, breathing freely, in and out through the nose. Keep stretching upwards through the tips of the fingers. Take one more deep breath in. And as you exhale, open your arms to face the right side of the mat. The left arm reaches forward, right arm reaches towards the back of the mat. Maybe gaze towards your back fingertips here. Contract your left glute, so squeeze your left glute, and then pull your right hip back. And see if you can twist your back shoulder open with each exhale for 3, for 2, and 1. Plant your left hand, top of the mat next to your front foot. Lift your back knee off of the ground, come onto your back toes. Reach your right arm up towards the sky. Coming into a little low lunge twist here. And again, if it feels okay on your neck, you can gaze up towards your top fingertips. Work to spiral your top shoulder open. Try and get your chest to face the right side of your mat. Good, take one more breath. And with your next exhale, plant your top hand down, top of the mat, and we'll step the front foot straight back into downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your left leg up towards the sky. Exhale, place your left foot between your hands. Drop your back knee down to the ground. And again, you can keep your back toes tucked, or you can come onto the top of your back foot. And as you inhale, reach the arms up, coming into Anjaneyasana. Lifting through the spine, reaching through your arms, stretching up through the fingertips. So really use your arms to lift your rib cage and lift the chest. And then breathing nice and deep. Take one more deep breath in. And as you exhale, open the arms to face the left side of your mat, coming into our twist, maybe gaze towards your back fingertips. Keep the breath flowing, and then twisting open, so peeling your back shoulder open. Find some activation in your right glute, and then pull your left hip back, and that'll help you twist open a little bit more. Take one more breath here. Good. And then plant your right hand next to your front foot, lift your back knee off of the ground, coming onto the back toes. Reach your left arm up towards the sky. Maybe gazing up towards your top fingertips. Keep lifting your back knee as high as you can, keeping the back leg nice and active here. And then peeling open through the left side of the chest. So try and get that left side of the chest to face the left side of the mat. Go for one more breath. And with your exhale, we'll lower the top hand down to the ground and step the front foot all the way back into downward facing dog. Let's take 3 rounds of breath here. So working to ground down through the heels. Now the heels don't have to touch the mat. If they're a little bit lifted, perfectly fine. But keep working to send them down towards the ground. Relax the neck and breathe. Relax the face. Take one more breath. Good, and then gaze towards the top of the mat, and we're going to travel the feet forward, so you can walk forwards, or if you want to play with a little jump, feel free to hop forwards. And once you're at the top of the mat, with an inhale, find halfway lift. And as you exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rise up to stand, mountain pose, reach the arms up, gaze up. And exhale, bring the hands down to heart center. And we'll move into our Sun Salutations. So we'll start with Surya Namaskar A's. And with an inhale, we'll sweep the arms up to the sky. And as you empty the lungs, fold all the way forwards. And you can bend your knees as much as you need to in these folds. Inhale, halfway lift, straighten the spine. Good, and exhale, plant the palms, step back into your plank position, high plank. And we'll hold this high plank for 5 breaths. Work to activate your core here. So imagine as if you're pulling your belly button upwards towards the spine. Strong arms, active breath for 3. Keep lifting your kneecaps for 2. And 1, nice job. Slowly start to bend into the elbows. Option to lower the knees or option to keep them lifted here. So knees can be on the ground or you're hovering in a low plank position. And with our next inhale, we're going to come into upward facing dog. So straightening the arms, lifting the chest. Knees can stay down or they can be lifted. And as you exhale, roll over the toes, downward facing dog. And pausing here. Breathing deeply. Breathe through your whole body. Not just the chest, but the abdomen, all the way down to the pelvis. We're breathing deep and free. And gaze to the top of your mat. Travel the feet forward, step or jump. Inhale, halfway lift, straight spine. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise, mountain pose. Press down through your feet, rise up. And exhale, hands down to heart center. And again, inhale, sweep the arms up, create a straight line with the body. And exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift the chest halfway. Exhale, plant the palms flat, step, or if you want to play with jumping back into your plank, feel free. From our high plank, we'll move into our chaturanga, so bending the elbows, option to lower the knees or keep them lifted. Inhale, upward facing dog. Drop the head back, firm your thighs, contract your glutes. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathing here. Focusing the eye gaze on one point. And then gazing to the top of the mat, step or jump forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up, reach up, gaze up. Exhale, hands to heart center. We'll do that one more time. Inhale, mountain pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step or jump back high to low plank. Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Drop the head back. Exhale, downward facing dog. Right away, gaze forward, step or jump the feet between your hands. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, forward fold. Drop your hips down to your heels. Reach the arms up, coming into Utkatasana, chair pose. And pausing here in stillness. Notice if you have an arch in your lower back. See if you can pull your sacrum downwards towards your heels. Lift upwards through your inner thighs. Keep bending the knees nice and low. Find some relaxation in your face. Soften the eyes, soften the jaw. Breathing in and out through the nose for 3, 2, and 1. Nice job. Straighten the legs, fold forward. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale, plant your palms. If you'd like to step straight back into down dog, feel free. Otherwise, if you'd like to take a vinyasa, we'll step back into a high plank position and then bend the elbows, coming into a low plank. And with an inhale, moving into upward facing dog. And exhale, back into downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your right leg up towards the sky. Exhale, place your right foot between your hands, top of the mat. Plant your back foot flat down, and then come onto your fingertips here. Squeeze your right outer hip towards the midline of your body, and you should really start to feel your right leg activate as you do that. Keep pressing through the pinky toe side of your back foot, and then open up your arms like you're doing an airplane pose. So bringing the arms to a T, hovering the chest above the front thigh. Keep the spine active, but the neck relaxed. And as you inhale, come into warrior number 1, sweeping the arms up. Good. Focus your eye gaze on one point here again. So you can gaze in front of you, or you can gaze up towards your hands. Maybe even press the palms together overhead. Pull your right hip back. Press your left hip forwards. Keep stretching up through the hands. Take one more breath. And as you exhale, plant the palms top of the mat. Again, your choice. So you can step right back into dog pose, or if you want to take a vinyasa, we'll step into our high plank and then bend the elbows into low plank. Always option to lower the knees here. Inhale to upward facing dog, contracting the glutes. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your left leg up to the sky. Exhale, place the left foot between the hands. Take your time getting there. Plant your back foot flat behind you, and then come onto the fingertips. So actively pressing through all four corners of your front foot, and then squeezing your left hip towards the center of your body. Feel that left leg engaging, and then try and get your back leg to engage just as much as your front leg. So pressing through your back pinky toe, and then open up the arms, coming into our airplane position. Strong front leg. Keep the face relaxed, keep the neck relaxed. Inhale, warrior number one. Reach the arms up. And again, gazing in front of you or gazing up to the hands. Hands can be shoulder width distance apart, or you can press the palms together and then gaze up to your thumbs. Keep firming your back leg nice and tight, and then pull your front hip back. Take one more deep inhale. And as you exhale, plant the palms top of the mat, and we'll make our way back into dog pose again. So your choice, stepping straight back or adding on a vinyasa. Following the breath. Good work. From down dog, inhale, lift your heels, come onto your tippy toes. And then exhale, wave into a high plank position and lower onto your knees. And we'll move into child's pose, dropping the hips back, bring the forehead down. And just notice the changes that have happened inside your body. Notice the rate of the breath. You might find that the breath is a little bit faster, a little bit deeper, and that's all normal. See if you can slow down the exhales. We want nice and long exhales here. And that helps to calm the body down, calms the nervous system down. And through our yoga practice, we slowly but surely learn how to control our nervous system, which helps regulate our mood, and it regulates the health of our body. And a lot of the practice starts with the breath, starts with awareness of the breath, starts with deep breathing. And from child's pose, whenever you feel ready, we'll meet back in downward facing dog. If you have to hang out there for a couple more breaths, it's okay. Pause the video and then join us back in dog whenever you're ready. From dog pose, inhale, lift your right leg up to the sky. Exhale, place your right foot between your hands. Plant your back foot flat. With an inhale, rise up into warrior two. So the right arm is reaching forwards, left arm is reaching backwards. Try and press your front knee towards the right side of your mat. Relax your shoulders, soften your wrists. Gaze towards your front fingers. From here, straighten your front leg. Inhale, reach your right arm back, slide your left hand down your back leg, and keep reaching back. Gaze up towards your top fingertips if that feels okay in your neck. Try and find as much length through your right side as you can, and also the back side of your body. Notice if you're collapsing in the back side body, try and find length there too. And then slowly come forwards. Keep your front leg straight, and we'll move into Trikonasana, triangle pose. So the right hand can come, you can grab your front ankle. If you have a block handy, you can bring the block to the outside of your foot, bring your hand to the block. Or if you're very flexible, you can even bring your hand down to the ground. And then we'll all reach the left arm directly overhead here. Maybe gaze up to your top fingertips. Feeling the feet grounding down. Try and press equally through all four corners of your front foot, and then work to pull your front knee towards the back of the mat here. Take some nice deep breaths, stretching through the sides of the body. Take one more breath. And as you exhale, we'll lower the top hand down towards the top of the mat, and then step your back foot slightly forward, so about 6 or 12 inches towards the front foot here. Just keep your front leg straight. Inhale, come all the way up to stand, reach the arms up, bring the palms together, press the palms together. And as you exhale, we'll move into revolved triangle. So the left hand is gonna come down to the ground. Option one is to bring the left hand on the outside of your front foot. And if you have a block, you can bring the block on the outside of your front foot and then bring the hand to the block. If that's too much, you can grab your front ankle with your left hand. So either option is gonna work. And then once you found that, reach your right arm up towards the sky, coming into revolved triangle pose. And the key to this pose is to really keep grounding down through both heels, your front heel and your back heel. And then we're spiraling open, so keep working to lift your right hip and spiral open through your right shoulder. And if you feel very steady, maybe gaze up towards your top fingertips. Otherwise, just keep looking down at your front foot. And keep breathing deep for 3, spiraling open for 2, and 1. Good job. Lower your top hand down to the top of the mat. And then we're going to walk the fingertips to face the left side of your mat and pivot your toes to face the left side of the mat. So we're in this wide-legged fold position. Bring your hands to your hips, and with an inhale, rise all the way up to stand. Exhale at the top. Inhale, open your arms like you're doing warrior 2. Exhale, interlace your fingertips behind your back. Inhale, straighten your arms, roll the shoulders back, drop your head back. Exhale, start to fold forward. So drop the head down, let the hands spill overhead, keep the bind. And if this stretch ever feels like it's too much on your hamstrings, you can always take a slight bend in your knees, and that's going to relieve some pressure off of the hamstrings. Let the neck be relaxed, let the head just hang heavy, let the weight of gravity start to bring the head down towards the ground. Breathing deeply, relaxing. Take 2 more breaths. One more breath. And with your next inhale, rise all the way up to stand. And exhale at the top, release your bind. And then step your back foot to meet your front foot, top of the mat. So big toes are together and we're facing forwards. Inhale, reach the arms up, mountain pose. And exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lengthen the spine, halfway lift. Exhale, we'll make our way back into dog pose, stepping straight back or jumping or stepping back into a high plank. And then lowering into our low plank, elbows towards the ribs. Inhale, upward facing dog, straightening the arms to lift the chest. And exhale, downward facing dog. And with an inhale, we'll lift the left leg as high as you can to the sky. Exhale, place the left foot between the palms. Take your time getting there. Plant the back foot flat. Inhale, spiral open the arms, warrior number 2. Relaxing the eye gaze, focusing on the front hand. Pressing your front knee towards the left side of the mat. Create as much space between the ears and the shoulders as you can. And from here, straighten your front leg. Inhale, reverse. Reach your left arm towards the back of the mat. Slide your right hand down your back leg. Maybe gaze up to the top fingertips, lengthening the sides of the body. One more breath. And then slowly coming forward, keep the front leg straight and moving into our triangle pose here. So whatever variation you took with your front hand on the other side, go for that here. Hand to the ankle, hand to a block, or hand to the ground. And the right arm stretches up to the sky. Again, maybe gaze up to those top fingertips here. Work to pull your front knee towards the back of the mat to lengthen through your front leg. Always be mindful, we don't want to push ourselves too much, but if it feels okay, always work to intensify the stretch just a little bit. So we're at that happy medium where it's not too much, but it's not too little. Yoga is about balance. Keep reaching up, keep breathing, lengthening the sides of the body as well. So reaching through the crown of the head. Take one more deep breath. Good, and then lower your top hand down towards the ground, and we'll step the back foot a little bit towards the front foot. Again, not too much, 6 or 12 inches. Keep your front leg as straight as you can. Press down through the feet. Inhale, rise up to stand. Reach the arms up, press the palms together. And then exhale, we'll start to move into a revolved triangle from here. So option 1, the right hand plants on the outside of the front foot or to a block if you have one. Or option 2, the hand grabs the ankle and then the top arm reaches up to the sky. Your legs are supporting you here. All the balance is coming from the strength in your legs, as well as the strength in your core. So see if you can use your core to peel the chest open towards the left side. Maybe gaze up to the top fingertips if you feel steady. And then focusing on the breath once you've found the pose. For 3, 2, and 1. Great job. Bring the top hand down towards the ground and then pivot your feet to face the right side of your mat. Crawl your fingers towards the right side of the mat. I'm going to face the camera so you can see. And we're going to drop the knees to the ground and come into a frog pose. So in frog pose, we're going to bring the shins at a 90-degree angle with the thighs. The toes are pointing outwards. And then you can stay on your hands, so you might feel a great stretch on your inner thighs here. And if you already feel a stretch, hang out here, take some deep breaths. If you don't feel anything quite yet, you can come onto your forearms. If you have a block, you can also bring the forearms down to a block too. And then start to sit your hips back towards the heels just a little bit. You don't have to go too far back to start to feel that stretch in the inner thighs. And then relaxing, focus on relaxing, breathing nice and deep. This is one of those poses that can be pretty intense for some people, so if this is quite an intense stretch, that's okay, that's normal, there's nothing wrong with it, unless you feel pain. If you ever feel pain, then always take it back a notch, but if it just feels like a very intense stretch, that's normal. Just breathe deeply. And just know that this will pass. A couple more breaths. Go for one more deep breath. Maybe sit the hips a tad bit further behind towards the heels. Cool, and then to come out of it, start to slide your chest forward, shifting the weight towards the hands to relieve the pressure on the knees, and then slide the knees together, and then crawl the hands to the top of the mat. Take your time getting there, and then we'll flow or step straight back into dog pose. And it might feel nice to counter stretch a little bit, maybe pedaling into the feet or rocking the hips from side to side. And then coming into stillness. Gaze to the top of your mat, and we'll step or hop the feet forwards. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up to stand, mountain pose. Reach up. Exhale, hands to heart center. And we'll start with tree pose. So we'll lift the right foot and bring the right foot either to your left ankle. You can keep your right toes on the ground if you need some extra balance. Or you can bring the right foot to the inner thigh of your left leg. Let's start with hands at heart center. Focus your eye gaze on one point. Keep looking at that one point. Feel your left foot grounding down. Try and ground down through all four corners of your bottom foot. And then if you feel steady, stretch the arms up to the sky. Palms can press together or hands can be shoulder width distance. Keep focusing on your bottom foot. Keep feeling your bottom foot. Keep looking at one point. If you feel steady, option to close your eyes here. Don't be afraid to fall. You might fall out. That's okay. Keep feeling your foot for 3, 2, 1. If the arms are reached up, start to bring them back to heart center. If the eyes are closed, go ahead and open them again. Keep your front foot, your right foot lifted. Release the foot from the inner thigh. And we're going to move into half moon pose here. So we're going to lower the left fingertips down to the ground or to a block if you have one. Right leg lifts up, right arm reaches up. Finding stillness, spiraling open, just like we did in revolve triangle. Work to spiral your top arm open towards the sky. Keep kicking through your right heel. For 3, 2, and 1. Slowly lower your top foot down to meet your bottom foot, top of the mat. And then we're going to step or jump the feet about hips width distance apart on the mat. From here, grab your big toes with your first 3 fingers, your peace fingers. Inhale, lengthen from the spine all the way through the neck, halfway lift. Exhale, take a fold here, drop the head. Breathing into the backs of the legs. You can bend the knees as much as you need to here. We'll be here for 3 nice deep breaths. Work to pull your fingers upwards into your big toes if you want to intensify the stretch a little bit. Go for 1 more breath. And with your next inhale, lengthen the spine. And as you exhale, plant the palms top of your mat, and we'll travel back into downward facing dog. Following the breath. Always letting the breath guide the motions, guide the movements. And from down dog, gaze forward, step or lightly jump the feet between the hands. Try and land softly if you jump. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, reach up, mountain pose. Exhale, hands to heart center. We'll move right into tree pose on the left side. So we'll lift the left foot. Option to keep the left toes on the ground or slide the left heel all the way up to the inner thigh of the opposite leg. Hands start at heart center. Find your eye gaze. Maybe you focus on the same point as you focused on the other side. And calming the mind, finding stillness in the body, but also in the mind. And maybe play with reaching the arms up. You can always keep the hands at heart center. You're going to be getting the benefits of the pose either way. Last couple of breaths. You can play with closing the eyes if you feel very steady. Keep focusing on the sensation of your bottom foot. It's going to help you stay balanced. Take one more breath. Good. If the eyes are closed, slowly open them. Bring the hands back to heart center if you reach them up. Release your left foot from the inner thigh or the toes from the ground, and we'll lift the left knee. And then start to kick the left leg behind you, moving into our half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. So the right fingertips lower down to the ground or to a block. Left arm reaches up to the sky. Bend your right knee as much as feels right for you here. And finding balance. And then spiraling open, reaching the left arm up to the sky. For 3, keep spiraling open, keep breathing through the body. For 2, and 1, good job. Slowly lower the top foot down to meet the bottom foot, top of the mat. And then we'll step the feet or jump them about as wide as your mat and point your toes outwards to face the sides of your mat. And we're in a Malasana prayer squat. So bring the hands to heart center. Work to lift the chest. Roll the shoulders back. Relax the face. And just focus on breathing here. Focus on sending the breath down into the abdomen. And you can hang out right here. This is an awesome hip stretch. I'm sure that you feel it. If you want to play with an arm balance, this is a good time. So you can plant the palms, spread the fingers as wide as you can. And then we'll play with crow pose today. So we'll bring the knees towards the backs of the arms. And then start to shift your weight forward. Bring your eye gaze in front of you. And if you're new to crow, just play with lifting one foot at a time. And just feeling what that feels like. And if crow is already in your practice, or if you feel like you're ready, you can play with lifting both feet. Strong arms, keep looking in front of you. Balancing here. Wherever you are, we'll hold there for 3, for 2. If you're in crow, if you want to hop back straight into a high plank, you can play with that on 1. If you want to lower straight down into Malasana, feel free. If you jump back, you can flow through a vinyasa. And if you're in Malasana right now, you can step straight back and we'll all meet back in downward facing dog. Great job, whatever you took there. Good effort. Inhale, lift your heels, come onto your tippy toes. Exhale, wave forward to a high plank. And then lower the knees down to the ground. Cross your ankles behind you. Sit your hips back towards your heels and then roll over the ankles. Swing your legs forward and come onto your back. And from your back, lift your legs directly up to the sky. Bring your big toes together. Press your palms down into the mat for now. And then from here, keep your left leg lifted, lower your right heel down to hover 1 inch above the mat. Good, from here, interlace your fingertips behind your head, lift your head 6 inches off of the ground. Good. Now, if this ever becomes too challenging, you can always lower your right heel down to the ground, but do your best to keep it lifted for as long as you can. We're gonna crunch the chest up towards the left knee 5 times here. So with an inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, slowly lower. Keep the head hovering. Inhale, lift the chest, crunch up. Exhale, slowly lower it back down. Nice and controlled movements. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, lower for 3, 2 more. Inhale, crunch up. Lead with your sternum, the breastbone. Exhale, slowly lower down. 1 more time. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower down. Keep the head hovering. Switch the legs. So the right heel is going to lift up. Left heel hovers above the mat. And inhale, lift the chest towards the right knee. Exhale, lower down. Keep the neck relaxed. Use the chest to do the motion. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower down. 2, 3 more. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower. You can always lower your left heel. Try and keep it lifted as long as you can. Inhale, lift as high as you can. Exhale, lower down. 1 more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, down. Now lift your left leg. Bring your left foot to meet your right foot. Keep your head hovering. So both heels are going to be lifting up towards the sky. Try and get your legs in one straight line. Good, and then breathe here. Hold here for 5. For 4, keep pulling your toes down. Keep lifting your heels up. For 3, 2, and 1. Now hover your legs at 45 degrees. So lower them halfway down to the mat. And hold here for 5. I know this is challenging. Do your best. Your core is stronger than you think. For 3, 2, keep the lower back pressing down. 1. Now hover your heels 1 inch above the ground. Last 5 breaths here. For 5, 4, 3, do your best. 2, 1. Lower the heels down. Nice job. Bring the soles of your feet together, coming into Supta Baddha Konasana. So the knees open towards the sides of your mat. And then bring your left hand over your heart. Bring your right hand over your belly. Relax your abdomen. Soften through your abdominal muscles. Feel the sensation in your belly. Feel that warmth around your abdomen. Take some nice deep breaths. Feel your right hand as it rises with the inhale and as it falls down with the exhale. And then from here we're going to move into a bridge pose. So we'll bend the knees, bring the heels right behind your sit bones, about hip on the ground. And with an inhale, lift the hips, interlace your fingertips behind your back, and then start to walk your shoulders together, bringing the shoulder blades as close as you can on your upper back. Feel that space that creates in your upper spine, in your thoracic and cervical spine. Keep pressing down through the heels to lift the hips to the heavens, as high as you can get them. Opening here, breathing deeply. For 5, keep lifting the hips high. 4, 3, 2, 1 more breath. And on 1, slowly, 1 vertebrae at a time, lowering down to the ground. And then hug your knees into your chest. And we're going to rock 3 times up and down the length of the mat. So you can bring your hands towards the backs of your knees, grabbing the backs of your knees, and then nice and slow, rolling up and down the spine. Massaging all the vertebrae, should feel really nice. And then on the 3rd time, straighten your legs, and when you roll up, we're going to land in a seated position with the legs together, big toes are together. Press down through the backs of your knees. Pull your pinky toes backwards to try and get all 10 toes in one straight line. And once you have it the best that you can, inhale, reach the arms up to the sky, gaze up to the hands, and exhale, fold forward. You can grab the ankles, you can grab the sides of the feet, maybe the big toes. And with your inhales, work to lengthen through your lower back. And as you exhale, relax the head, soften. Inhaling to lengthen, exhaling to soften. Take 2 more breaths. And with your next inhale, start to lift the chest, release what you have with your hands, and then plant the palms, top of the mat, and we'll make our way back into downward facing dog. And from down dog, inhale, lift the heels, come onto your tippy toes. Exhale, wave forward into high plank position. Lower the knees down to the ground. And then we'll come onto our backs again. So you can cross the ankles like we did before, then sit the hips back to the heels, and then slowly come onto the back. And from the back, we'll hug both knees into the chest. And we'll take a figure four stretch. So we're gonna cross the right ankle on top of your left thigh. The ankle is gonna come right below your left knee here. And then it's your choice. You can keep the left knee straight, so you can straighten the leg, or you can keep it bent, whatever feels better. And then bring your hands towards the back of your left knee. You can interlace your fingertips, and then start to pull your left thigh towards your body. And you should start to feel a nice stretch in your right hip here, which is what we're looking for. And softening into that right hip. Really try and pinpoint with your mind exactly where you feel the stretch. Obviously you feel it somewhere in the right hip, but try and get specific. Try and really feel where it's originating from. And then breathing into that point, using the mind to relax that muscle. Take one more breath. And then from here, lower your left leg down to the mat. So the left leg is going to be straight. Hug your right knee into the chest. And then we'll move right into a supine twist. So with your left hand, guide your right knee over towards the left side of your body. And then open up your right arm towards the right side of the mat. You can gaze over that right shoulder. Try and relax the left side of your neck. And then slowly start to come back to center. And we'll take our figure four with the other leg. So the left ankle is going to cross on top of the left thigh, right below the knee. Right knee bent, or you can straighten it. And then bring your hands towards the back of your right knee. Maybe interlace the fingers, get a nice grip. And then gently, slowly start to pull the knees towards your body. Notice if your lower back starts to lift up a little bit here. Try and keep the lower back flat on the ground. And softening here, investigating with the mind on this side. Does this feel more flexible than the other side? Does it feel a little bit tighter? Does the stretch originate from a different point in this hip than it did on the other side? Does this side respond the same way as the other side when you breathe deeply? Does it relax when you start to deepen the breath? Does it remain the same? Take one more breath. Okay, and then lower your right leg down to the ground. Straighten the right leg, hug the left knee into the chest. And then we'll drop the left knee over to the right side of the body. Open the left arm to the left, gaze over the left shoulder. Two more breaths. And then twisting back to center. Hug both knees into the chest. And this time wrap your arms around your shin bones, squeezing the legs inwards towards the body. Lift your forehead up to the knees, curling up nice and tightly here. Keep lifting the head. Keep breathing deeply for 3, 2, and 1. With your next exhale, release your legs, open up the arms, coming into shavasana pose. Spreading the arms nice and wide, palms are facing upwards, fingertips are relaxed, thighs are heavy. Your legs should be so relaxed here that your toes are just falling out towards the sides of your body. Notice if you're holding any tension in your abdomen. See if you can relax your abdominal muscles to really create lots of space for the breath. Not trying to control the breath anymore. Just letting the breath come back to its natural rhythm. And just letting go here. Enjoying the stillness. Take a nice deep breath in through the nose. Feel the cool air rushing into the body. And exhale out the mouth. Start to bring the awareness back into the body. Wiggle the fingers, wiggle the toes. Feel the sensation of the back grounding down. And with an inhale, reach the arms overhead, take a full body stretch, spread the fingers, point through the toes. Maybe lift your hips a little bit, get a little bit of a back bend in your lower back. And then hug the knees into the chest and roll onto your right side in a fetal position. Relaxing the right ear on your right upper arm bone. And then rolling up to a seated position. You can keep your eyes closed here. Finding a nice long spine, relaxing the hands down on the knees. Soften all the muscles in your face, all the little muscles, the muscles in your forehead, the muscles around your eyes. Let your eyes be heavy in their sockets. Relax your jaw. Even relax the tongue. Let the tongue fall away from the roof of your mouth. Soften the shoulders away from the ears. Bring the hands to heart center. Press the palms together. And in this last moment, I invite you to just bring a sense of gratitude for what your body did for you today, carrying you through this practice. Always being grateful for our bodies, because we would never be able to gain all the benefits that we do from our practice if it wasn't for the ability of our physical body to carry us through the physical components of the practice. So just being grateful for that. And then we'll close with one deep breath, a nice deep inhale through the nose, and a slow breath out the mouth. Thank you so much for joining me today. The light in me sees and honors the light in you. Namaste. Thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate you being here. If you like this video, I would really appreciate it if you left me a thumbs up, maybe leave me a comment below if you have any feedback for me, and maybe hit the subscribe button if you would like to see more videos like this in the future. So thanks again. Namaste.